This is the Real Eyes Recognize podcast. Now your hosts, Dustin Gutkowski and UFC fighter Kevin Holland.
God.
We're recording?
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is Real Eyes Recognize, and I don't even think we're keeping up with what fucking episode this is anymore. Oh, he said this is 10. Season 2, episode 10, with my boy Dustin right here.
Bustin' Dustin.
You know what
No
I'm saying?
chain. Not iced out today.
That's
a little
all right.
off. I feel naked. That's it. I'm just going to get it fully. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's all right, bro. So, I brought my motherfucking chain today, thinking that Dustin was bringing his chain today.
Looks good.
And Dustin didn't bring his chain, so we were going to be double iced out. You know what I mean? Double R. I got the
That would have been the
Rs, he
first
got the
time.
Rs.
We would have.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no.
all right. Better.
Damn, that would have been the
my
first.
bad.
That would have been the first time that we had the both double R's. Next time, I'm bringing it tomorrow. I'm making it happen. That sucks.
2 chains.
Can you edit it in?
2 chains. You know what I mean? Yeah, that'd be sick. Give him a little quick
Just
edit.
like it, yeah. Make it extra big.
It was all a dream. Flooded out.
So it was San Antonio card
Yeah.
meet and greet.
Oh,
Meet
yeah.
and greet was cool, man. Bro,
Little Woodrows. Shout out to Little Woodrows. We need one local.
is there not a little
We
Woodrows in
need one
Dallas?
local. There's not Little Woodrows this way.
Man, I mean, the only thing is we wanted to do a live show, but they only had this little speaker and it wouldn't go over the PA system. But
Yeah.
I thought outside of that, what a turnout, man. There was a line wrapped around the building.
It was lit.
Yeah.
It was lit.
Crazy.
It was a nice long line, but the thing about it was the people that were sitting there that were getting up after were like, yeah, okay, now the line's gone. I'm going to slide over there, get my picture. Yeah. It was cool, bro. It was a dope environment.
Because you're an asshole and played a joke on me and you're like, hey, I'm here. Where's the van? And I'm like, well, we're outside. So I walk outside. And you're like, you're supposed to pick me up from the fighter hotel. And I'm like, holy shit. What did I forget? So I'm like scrambling, call the driver. And you're like, I'm just kidding. I'm like, but I saw the line. I was like, damn, dude, this place is packed. That's the line to get in. It wasn't. It was the line to meet you. And it went all the way through. And you know what? Also, credit to Little Woodrows, not to get them in trouble, but they didn't do anything. They got you to meet these kids, man. These like a bunch of kids rolled up to meet you.
Yeah. We
And
met
they
him
let
outside at the van.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Those kids, like, it made their night, man. They got to meet you. They got to meet Terrence.
Yeah. They weren't that young, though. So, you know.
They're like 21.
I mean, I thought they were like some babies or something. But they were pretty cool. Cool guys. Overall, always been a fan of San Antonio. I actually before I fought all my amateur fights, San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio.
So shout out to San Antonio, Texas.
Good.
It was lit. Still, when I party, I like to go to H-Town.
Yeah, I was Dallas, H-Town, Austin, San Antonio.
Okay.
I love H-Town.
Okay. San Antonio's last of the list.
Bro.
You need to put Fort Worth on there. Shout out to 7th
Well,
Street.
like, I say Dallas.
Shout out to 7th Street. It gets
That
lit.
DFW is like, to me, it's Dallas Fort. My wife's a huge Fort Worth girl. I can care. DFW. When I say Dallas, I mean DFW.
I ain't gonna lie. I've always wanted to do like a big party thing where I did like a party on 6th Street one night.
In Austin? Mm-hmm. You know I can set that up. That's where I was born and raised.
And then do a fat ass party the next day on 7th Street.
I can set that up for you, and we can go 5th because 5th is where it's at too.
Where's
like,
5th Street?
5th, 6th, 7th, but like West
Where's
6th
5th
Street,
though? Like where's?
Right before 6th in Austin. Oh, in Austin, I was like right before. God, the blind lead the blind. Hey, Stevie Wonder, meet Ray Charles. Because
you know
we had somebody pop up.
6th Street's in Austin, and 7th Street in Fort Worth.
Well, see, there's 7th in Austin too. That's what. I got you. I think somebody popped up.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
What up, boys?
What's going on, man?
with you?
How y'all doing, buddy? Damn, that is a hard background, Kevin.
Damn, appreciate you, bro. Fucking Dustin actually put it all together. I have actually no style besides shoes and clothes.
Yeah.
So
And
Dustin's the designer here.
And
Dustin's
man,
the
you got a
designer
nice-
here.
You got the punch one right now. You were definitely in San Antonio last weekend.
Yeah. San Antonio was nice. San Antonio was real nice. And
Had you been here before?
yeah, that's actually where I fought all my amateur. We were just talking about that. That's where I fought all my amateur fights. For everybody that doesn't know, CJ Vera just fought on the San Antonio card. What was that? Probably fight of the year right there.
Fight of the night, fight of the year, comeback of the year. Fucking amazing, hey, bro. Credit
That
to
shit
you.
was wild.
Oh, man. Stop it. But keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was
one more time for the
amazing.
people that let me repeat it.
That was
Fight of the
amazing.
night, fight of the year, comeback of the year. Amazing heart, bro. Credit to you. We were just talking about before you logged on about, hey man, had that gone to a third round, no disrespect to your opponent, I don't think he wanted to continue.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready for that dog fight. Yeah, he wasn't ready for that dog fight.
100%.
And how about this? first time in history, I think that would have been the first time in history that had it went to the third round, that it would have been 2 10-8 rounds. So a 10-8 round for one guy, a 10-8 round for another guy, and then going to the that would have been dog of all dogs right there. That would have been crazy. But you got it done before then, so fuck it, save it for another time, right?
Can't trust the judges in Texas anyway, so I'm glad we didn't have to go there.
No, speaking of judges in Texas, did you even get to see the main event?
I did, Dad. I was watching it from. I had some pretty decent floor seats, like a few rows back, and I did watch it, and I did not have it that way.
That was crazy.
I love Cheeto. I love Cheeto. I mean, he's one of my favorite guys on the roster, but I don't think he won that fight. I think it was unanimous for Corey.
Yeah, that was crazy. 3 rounds. And they haven't even said anything to this judge. Nobody's questioning him. Nobody's asking him anything or anything like that. It's just wild. But that being said, whoever he is, I would love to take him out for dinner anytime that he'd love to go out for dinner. I'd love to be his best friend, talk to him on Instagram. Anything that he wants, bro, I'm here for it at all times.
Have him on the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
That's my friend if I'm fighting in Texas. You know what I mean? That's my buddy. You know what I mean?
Send him a chain, dude.
Look at the night before, the guy passed out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see the night before, that was all over as well.
Man, you know what sucks about that is the referee, I know him. He's reffed a bunch of my fights, and he's been one of my favorite refs in the game for a long time. He reffed me since I was an amateur. He lives here in San Antonio, and I know him and his family. And like when I saw that, man, I was floored at it from the video perspective. And I actually talked to one of the TDLR guys from Texas, the guys that work for the state. And from what they, people behind the scenes were saying is that according to them, this fighter, the angle that the camera had it at was really messed up. And, he was like, no, this guy really wasn't out. And even after the fight, the guy was like, no, I was never out. I was just trying to catch my breath in there and find a little space for breathing. I don't know how true that is. They could just be trying to cover their guy's ass, but super unfortunate either way. Cause like I was saying that like for a referee, all you do, you can have like the best career for 20 years and that one night.
That one night can change everything.
For real, man.
Well, even look, they did show the other angle on Twitter, and I was going to say on that one angle that everybody saw, it looked horrible. Like it looked worse. There was an angle from the ring side where you really couldn't see almost where the guy, he didn't look out, right? Like if you go looking for it, you could maybe tell, right? But if you're just watching the fight free, you're like, hey, dude, it doesn't look like he's out. It looks like he's actually trying to move. And whether he was out, so it's tough. I mean, and that's the same thing for the judges, man. They're watching this through a cage, real time. They don't get replay. They don't get the fortune to go back and look at it, and they're trying to see. I'm like you. I love watching Cheeto fight. I think he's amazing. I think he's great for the sport.
Yeah.
He's just a gamer. He's like just a fun guy to watch, and he shows up. And I love his story too, like his daughter's story and why he's fighting. That's cool. But watching it real time, it's difficult. You don't see the replay. You just see, did that punch actually hit? Did it graze? Like how much they take that in account. So it's got to be a tough job to be either one.
Yeah, it's not a job I want at all, honestly. But it is interesting to think about the fact that like since we're all 30 years that the UFC's been around. At what point do the standards of the judges raise up? At what point are we having black belts and brown belts or former fighters even starting to do the judging, guys that have actually been in? Because here in Texas, for the longest time, and it probably still is the case, a lot of these guys that are judging the MMA fights were boxing judges their whole career. And they're just coming over here now, so it's like there has to be some sort of evolution in the judging side of things too, because it's bad for the sport all around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no points for takedowns. I fuck with it.
You and me both, bro. Yeah. You and me both.
Oh, man.
Dude, by the way, I was in Austin when you fought. Who did you fight in Austin in June?
That was Dirty
Tim
Bird.
Means. Tim Means, yeah.
Tim Means, the Dirty Bird. Actually, so Tim Means, so my coach, Pete Spratt, one of his last fights of his career was against Tim Means, and Tim Means caught him with a nasty elbow. And it was actually to the back of the head. He caught an angle off of him and clean elbow and slept Pete. It was disgusting. And from what Pete said is that Tim Means is actually the whole Dirty Bird nickname is a little dirty in the cage. True or false, Kevin?
You know what? I do a good job of having a casual conversation with everybody before I fight them. Whether the casual conversation goes good or bad is usually determined on the person's energy. Tim gave me good energy. Maybe he's a little bit older, a little bit changed. You know what I mean? So when me and Tim talked several times, I managed to make him my friend before we got in the cage. So I didn't get a chance to find out how dirty Tim could be. He was nothing but clean and nice when we were in there. He even took a shower before, so he smelled like a fresh chicken, not a bad one.
Good,
you know what I mean? So
good for him.
And I shouldn't even call him a chick, more like an eagle, because he was soaring in there. I had a good time with him. But no, I've heard things. He fought my cousin Artenius Chico Young, so I've heard little things here and there. I knew he was a tough, gritty fighter, if I must say so myself. So I kind of knew when we were in clinch situations, break fast, break hard, and I knew to watch out for certain things. So. And like I said, I think I buttered him up a little bit before we went in there and fought. So, so I think we were pretty cool.
And let me ask you this, Kevin. The whole your approach to talking, is that like a psychological warfare tactic of yours, or is it like how you deal with anxiety, or what is that for you? Because it's very genuine. I'm just curious.
That's a great question.
You know what? Honestly, bro, it is a great question. Honestly, don't really fucking know. I just talk a lot. Sometimes I'll be sitting at home and. Lady friend will be like, hey, you're not talking that much. I thought you were a big mouth. I came around for a person that likes to talk. And it's like, oh, fuck, I'm watching TV right now. I ain't got nothing to say. We get on the video game and all my boys are way more vocal than me. You know what I mean? And it's like, they're like, bro, say something. I'm like, oh, yeah, my bad. I was locked in. But let me be driving in the car, bro. I'm going to talk on the phone for a fucking 3 out of the 4 hour drive. You know what I mean? Let me be fighting or training. And if everybody's quiet, I feel the need to talk. If everybody else is talking, I feel the need to be quiet. So I'm just, everybody's quiet at that point in time. So I feel the need
like Black Deadpool.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Man,
don't make me blush.
We're eating dinner last night with my wife, and she's having a serious conversation with me, and I'm trolling Instagram, and I see Justin Adams, and it's the funniest Kevin line ever. He's like getting his 5 rounds of jiu-jitsu, and he's like, here's my day in jiu-jitsu, and he's going through, and he goes, round 3, Kevin, he's like, I thought I was doing really well against him. I was working him, he was working me, and I thought it was all going in my favor until I realized he was having a full-blown fucking conversation with 2 people, and then tapped me, and then told me, hey, I did better that time.
He did, though. The pressure that he was putting on was a lot better and stuff like that. Then I looked down, and I realized, like, oh, this motherfucker, we're not playing today. He's really rolling. So I kind of stopped the conversation, but I didn't want to be rude, so I did finish, kind of what we were having going on. But my buddy knows how I get down. You know what I mean? I can't not talk to my other people.
You said that was Justin Adams?
Yeah. We call him Cowboy at the gym, but yeah, they call him Justin Adams. It's funny. First 2 years of knowing him, every time they said Justin, I was like, who the fuck are you talking about? All I knew him was Cowboy. You know what I mean? So one day my coach set me to the side and goes, Kevin, Cowboy has a real name, and his name is Justin. I would appreciate it if you understood that his real name is Justin Adams and it's not Cowboy. And I was like, okay.
You're like, got it, Cowboy?
Yeah, got it. Exactly. Got it, Cowboy.
Sure thing, partner.
Exactly.
Dude, that's hilarious, man. That name sounds familiar.
You might know him. If you're a Texas guy, he's pretty well known.
Name sounds.
He might have dated the same girl at one point in time in life. He's married now, so he's a good fella. But back in the day,
rodeo circuit, he's a wild man.
Yeah. Back in the day, he was a living, walking STD. So
I'm hoping we're not Eskimo brothers. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, you might be like 5 deep Eskimo brothers.
Oh,
you
so
look like you like the same kind of girls.
Okay, no, I've heard the name, but the face doesn't look familiar. But damn, the face does look familiar. Interesting. Anyways.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. Your hair. My mom called me. I was playing the video game. I went home early. I was at the fights, but I went home early, and I was playing the video game, kicking it with my fam and stuff.
What
my mom
game?
calls me. Call of Duty. It just be like that sometimes. And my mom calls me. She goes, hey, that CJ Vera kid's coming out. I'm like, all right, local talent. Let me tune in. She was like, his hair looks like your hair. So tell me about your hair going in. It looked like you had some of it undone, or tell me about your hairstyle going into the fight.
Yeah, great question, man. Do you fuck with The Last Kingdom? That show about the Vikings?
Yeah.
Remember Uhtred, the godless?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that show, and I love his character. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. Tien, the hair braider for the UFC?
No, I don't. No, I usually just use my own little people.
Okay. So she's super dope, man. She's like this free-spirited gypsy traveling girl. She's so tight. And she's done my braids, since I got into the UFC. But this past time, so the last time I wanted her to leave some of the braids hanging, but she was like, no, because, if it goes to the ground, your braids might get caught up. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But this time I was like, no, like I'm going to stand my ground with this one, because I took inspiration from Uhtred. He does this like half updo,
Yeah.
where his hair is half up and the rest is hanging down. And I told her, I'm like, hey, I showed her a picture, and she was like, I got you. And dude, an hour and a half later, and she's so good with it. I don't know. I mean, you know this, like sometimes some braiders, like they're pulling on your hair, your head's moving back the whole time. But her, man, she's so smooth. I'm sitting there every time I fall asleep. I take like a 20-minute nap while she does it.
Yeah. So you know Fatima, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've known
Fatima
Fatima.
hooked me
She
up with
braided
some
my hair
braids.
for the longest.
Man, she hooked me up with some braids when I got out there because I had the fro and I was like, hey, I got to get this done before I go to Little Woodrow's and stuff. So
How did you link with her? You know?
Yeah, when I fought on the local San Antonio circuit, we used to fight together.
Got you. That's sick, man.
We've been buddies since I was fucking 18, 17 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I've seen her as a mom fighting and stuff like that. My mom was a big Fatima fan, so of course,
that's tight.
My mom being a Fatima fan, I was a Fatima fan. So yeah, she hooked me up with some braids. She did good. It was tight. There's a couple times she got me. I ain't got hair like you, so she had a snatch on my shit. I was like, damn, girl, but she did good. At one point in time, I got used to it. I was starting to nod off and fall asleep too. She was like, Kevin, she was like, you need to wake up so I can get the other side. I was like, all right, my bad.
Half the time her voice doesn't work. She's been having some vocal issues. She was like, Kevin.
Yeah. She said she was going to have surgery. She wasn't gonna be able to talk for a week. So I'm hoping that y'all drop this video the same time that she has the surgery, so that way if she feels some type of way about me saying something, she can't cuss me out. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I can't read that good, so you know what I'm saying? I'll be good.
Yeah. I like pictures.
Yeah, that's the bro though. That's the bro.
That's what's up.
But that hair though, you said you drew from Uhtred, and you could tell, man. Like we said, fucking fight was amazing. The comeback was amazing. And, Uhtred's a hard motherfucker to put away. So
that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, you had that energy.
Yeah, dude. And like, it was such a crazy week for me, bro, because I've fought here in San Antonio, at Cowboys Dance Hall.
That's where I fought. I think I fought four. I fought 4 out of my 5 fights at Cowboys Dance Hall.
So my first amateur fight, I had just turned 18. It was in 2009 at Cowboys. And that was at the time when they were still doing the fights on the Bull Arena side where the Bulls would fight.
Yeah. So PCG?
The PCG. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm a PCG welterweight champ, baby.
Hey, that's hard.
Hey.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was grimy, bro. And I was, like I said, I was 18. So I loved it, bro. I loved the idea of fighting inside of a bull ring,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar, but like it was literally on the same side as the rodeo is. They lay down a giant mat, throw the cage on top of it, and you
I remember that
dirt half the time.
Come out of the bull shoots and everything.
My first
bro,
3 fights with them.
Walked in through.
Yeah, my first 3 fights with them. That's where it was, and I told my mom, I said, hey man, I gotta wear play shoes, man. She was like, why? I was like, because I can't wear those sandals. I was like, I'm getting fucking sand on my feet and shit. She's like, what are you talking about,
bro?
I'm like, look at the ground. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, baby. I always tell you to wear them slides.
You're 70 cow shit, literally. And they would have a party going on next door halftime because the fights would go long. So it was fucking wild. They'd have a concert going, bugging people dancing, and then there's a fight going on next door. You just
that's where you mingle with after. After you get done fighting, you just go over there to the other side and have a good time, bro. It was lit.
Yourself a pretty young lady.
A little buckle bunny. You get you a good buckle bunny.
Real quick, tell me your name again, brother. I'm sorry.
Bustin'
Dustin.
Yeah,
he ain't got his jury on today.
Yeah, dude.
They call him Bustin' for some other reasons too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
remember I lived in San Antonio for 2 years. Yeah, Bustin' Dustin. I actually lived in Olmos Park, had a little spot over there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Dude, it was San Antonio
boy, huh?
Hey, dude, so I used to go to Cowboys to find me a buckle bunny or two,
Oh, okay.
Hey, dude.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So you've kicked a rug or two in your time?
I have, man. I'd go in there, bro. It was funny. I actually met a buddy you ran into, but I'd go in there dressed, J's, fitted hat, chains. They're like, hey, dude, you can't come in here. I'm like, yeah, I can. Watch this. And I'd get out there. It was just a good time. Cowboys back in the day was fun, man. It was like the spot.
It really was. No, for sure. It popped off. But anyway, to get back to, so just having that come up in San Antonio, and I gathered a really good following here in San Antonio. And it was always on my bucket list, man. But the UFC just hasn't been down here. I think they came out in 2019. And with Apex shows going down, I didn't expect it to happen. So this fight was also the last fight on my contract. I was 1-2, and so there was a lot of pressure going into this camp. And man, it felt like felt like God or the universe or whatever you want to call it, like put this opportunity at my doorstep and was like, hey, if and like Pete and I, my coach and I talked about this, is like felt like the last dance, Michael Jordan, last dance type of situation. You're like, make it or break it. This is for everything. All your chips down. So I really, I made a lot of changes, because I missed weight my last fight too. I'm not sure if you guys knew that or not.
No, I wasn't
I've
familiar
missed
with
weight
that.
twice in the UFC, dude. Yeah, it sucks. I would try to do too much weight cutting too fast, right? So I'm already fighting at 125 as it is. There's not a lot of weight to lose. If I'm really thick and lifting weights a lot, I'll get to like 155. And
Wow.
so I would try to cut from like 44 to 26 the week of the fight, right?
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
And so when I fought O'Day for the first fight, and it was never that I dried out. It's just I would run out of time. So happened, and then I fought Kledson and I made weight, and then I fought Tatsuro, missed weight, and then I got choked out in the second round. But I learned a lot from that fight, dude, because I realized my body was just like, yo, you can't keep putting us in the ringer like this and putting yourself in a position where you're almost dead, and then trying to go out 28 hours later and put on a Showtime performance of your life. Like, it doesn't work that way. So
Yeah.
I made some changes to my conditioning regimen, my diet, and stuff like that. And I really dialed into this camp. I haven't been this focused since I feel like I was a young pro, trying to prove something. And so, man, to make that walk out there, and I walked out to that song El Rey by Vicente Fernandez, which is like a hit here in San Antonio. And it was just, bro, it was so incredible. And then the way the fight played out, I mean, it was so crazy, man.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You couldn't script that. Obviously you're in your hometown, right? There's got to be some nerves. Like being in your hometown, like you said, last dance, like you recognize all. There's got to be whether good nerves, bad nerves. You come out, like it's your hometown. San Antonio's great. It's where you're born and raised. Can't imagine that. It's like you said, that's like you fucking script that, right? And then hey man, the dude catches you, and it was crazy. It was like it's almost like you saw it coming a little bit, but you tried to get out of the way, but it just clipped you just right. That's what I was like. It wasn't like some, let's say, vicious blow, right? But it looked like you kind of saw it, kind of got, but it clipped you. Like, and then, hey man, I remember somebody next to us was like, oh, he's running for his life. That's not what you do, and it was like, hey man, don't count him out. And then fucking second round, it was like, what were you saying? What was that? But what was going on in your head when that happened, man? And just that first round and then the second round when you got.
Yeah, man. So the fight starts, and the game plan was to beat his calves up a little bit early in the fight to slow him down. And then I knew that he was going to have bursts, like real sprinty bursts. So the idea was to be in and out, work my feints, work my stand switches, and continue to use lateral movement because from what I've noticed, he doesn't do well at cutting the ring off. He kind of chases his opponents. And so, but for some reason, I just felt a little stiff in the first round. I've been having that issue lately. I need to figure that out. And so I was trying to like loosen up, whatever. And I actually didn't realize that he hit me with that spinning back kick until I was at the media press conference after, and they asked me about spinning back kick, and I was like, the fuck? I remember him walking me down and clipping me with that cross. That was actually the second time he dropped me. But, dude, so when I watched the fight, then it started to piece itself together. So I get clipped with that spinning heel kick. I get on my bike, and then just to get some distance from him, I didn't realize how much ground I had actually covered till I watched the fight back. Then he clips me the second time. But, bro, that dude hits hard. Because usually in a fight, I take a shot from the guy that I'm fighting, and I got a solid chin and like a high pain tolerance for shots to the face. So like I'll take a shot, and I'm like, I could eat that all day. I'm not worried about this guy. But when he hit me, I was like, damn, I don't think I can eat these. So when he clipped me with that second one, bro, there was a brief moment, and I could hear the crowd, bro. And I was thinking about my son, and it was just like, it was a moment in time where I was like, fuck, I'm about to go out. So like, I'm just going to go out swinging. And I was about to just kind of bite down on my mouthpiece and just, go out on my shield. But as I thought that, I felt like my legs kind of buckle underneath me and like catch themselves again. And I was like, no, what the fuck am I doing? I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm getting away. I'm just going to get space. And this dude was chasing after me. And then he dropped me the third time. At that point, I'm like really, really dazed. Like I had never been that rocked before. And then we end up on the ground. I feel like I was so rocked that I didn't even address the choke until I was almost out. Because when you watch the fight, he gets the rear naked choke in.
Yeah.
And it's like in for like a second before I even started fighting the hands. because I didn't realize I was being choked until I was like, you know what I mean?
Holy shit.
So I fight the hands, of course, separate, and I can hear my coach. I finally like zone back into being able to connect with my coach. And I hear Pete like, 15 seconds, CJ, stay up on your feet. Bell rings, right? Go to my corner. Pete sits me down and he gets on my ass. He's like, listen, he is done. He just threw everything he had at you. That's everything he's got. And you're not out yet. You're still here. He's done. Go take it from him. Stop leaning away from that spinning heel kick. Either step into it or completely clear the range from it. I have this bad habit sometimes, especially when I get hurt. I start to lean. I do this fucking ghetto ass lean. You know what I mean? It's like
that Philly shell.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and his kick was covering so much ground. So it was like either clear the space for it or step into the spinning heel kick and go out there and start touching him. I need you to open up the whole bag on him. So I went out there, and as soon as I got back up, man, I felt myself grounded again, and I knew what I had to do. And I've had bad first rounds before in fights. When I fought for the Fury title, I got dropped in the first round too, and my second round I ended up winning that fight by KO as well in the third round. So I came out and I could read his body language. I could tell that he was starting to like. I've watched his fights and I saw it. I was like, you're tired. And I'm not, right? And so, I just continued to press him. I could feel him getting a little anxious. And then he also almost got that calf slice. That was like his last ditch effort, I feel like. And I just didn't let him connect his hands. I didn't want him to connect his hands and pull me back. So once I cleared that, man, and I started to find those elbows to drop on him, Jason Herzog that first one was 12-6 all day. He was like, hey, 12-6. I was like, okay, how about 1-7? Just a little bit of this here.
Pull Kevin Holland talking in the middle of the fight. Let's go.
Yeah. So man, I just continued to put it on him as much as I could. And then that arm triangle. Did you see that arm triangle, Kevin?
Arm triangle?
I had an arm triangle attempt.
Yeah, I seen it, and the first thing I said was you stepped over to the side, right? You go to like side control on the arm triangle. I don't believe in going to side control on the arm triangle because every time somebody goes side control, that's usually how I get free. So it's like you kind of like you kind of like a knee on top of the body, or you kind of gotta go almost like little half guard almost. You know what I mean? You got to feed them a leg so that way they can't flip over and try and like sprawl free and shit like that. Because usually you let that little space go, and that's usually how they get that little freedom.
I got you. Yeah, because I got Tatsuru in an arm triangle, and I always get it in training. That's like my go-to choke, and I always get it on my training parts. For some reason, in a fight, though, every time it's happened in a fight, I can hear that they still have a pocket of space to breathe. What about your shoulder? Like, am I not? You think I wasn't pinching down on my shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, you can pinch over and drop the shoulder, which helps a lot. But then you got to remember this: it's a slow choke, right? So a slow choke means you're using a lot of energy in your arms. So if you don't get that fast enough, and I'm willing to die in there at that moment in time, I don't tap out. You go to your second squeeze. Your second squeeze is not as tight as your first squeeze. If I got any experience in grappling, I'm realizing the squeeze is getting worse. Unless you're fucking Chimaev, then your squeeze just gets fucking tighter and tighter as it goes.
Fuck that guy.
You know what I mean? Other than that, yeah, you kind of got to watch the squeeze pressure with your own arms. So it's like me personally, it's like if you watch Khabib, Khabib goes head and arm, wraps the arm, sits him up, and then goes rear naked choke. That's usually the best bet on finishing somebody.
I feel that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take that note. Next time I get an arm triangle, I'm going to shout.
Or just keep fucking kneeing them in the side like you were doing. I like that too.
Disgusting, right?
You made that shit violent, bro.
Bro, that shit was Viking shit. It really was, dude. I was like, holy shit. Like, it's funny. I think we even said in the thing, we're like, bro, that looks like some savage Viking shit. I remember someone saying that comment. No idea that's where the hair inspiration come from. But I mean, it was just like, you're paying this dude back. I was like, holy shit, man. This guy's taking it to him.
So I got a major question.
Okay.
If it's not the UFC next, let's say in a picture perfect world, you don't get the contract that you want to continue a UFC career, where would you want to go next?
I still got a lot of fight left in me, man. I feel like
I know you're not done. If we've seen that fight, you're nowhere near done.
No.
I would like to see you stay where the fuck you are right now. I mean,
come on, Dana.
Pay-per-view cards only probably at this point in time.
Hey, tell your boy Oren, dude.
Hey,
get on it.
I'll talk to him. You know I want him.
Hodak. Listen, KO Revs. Come on, KO gang. Let's go.
Yeah, man. So if, like you said, if I wasn't to get re-signed, I would, of course, explore other options. I mean, Bellator, ONE FC, things like that. I can always move to Russia and do some underground shit. You know what I mean? For a bunch of cash.
As gritty as you are, you either stay where you are, you go take everybody out as an underdog on a $1 million contract. I mean,
yeah,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah, man. But I feel confident that fight and just the way that I capital and so fight finishes. It was so cool, man. And I feel like how are you not going to bring me back? You know what I mean? This is what you want. It's what you paid for.
Yeah,
that's nothing but a fucking savage.
Yeah, I mean, not only was it fight of the night, but look, man, I'll be honest with you. That like the makeup of the San Antonio card was great, right? Like Holly Holm did her thing.
I mean,
but fight of the night,
the card after that.
You saved the. I mean, really though, man, like you saved the fight night. I mean that card, the makeup was great. The celebrities were in the house. Dude, Tim Duncan was there. David Robinson. You had Cowboy Cerrone, Hall of Fame. Like you would have thought that with that card, like Holly Holm would have been some knockout. It was a grappling match. You thought the Cheeto card would have been just a complete bang, which was a great fight. Don't get me wrong, but like,
of course,
hey man, you saved the fucking card. So it's like, hey, how do you not take notice of that? I always like to say, hey, Nestle, when it's crunch time, chips were on the line and you were there. Yeah, bro.
Your fight was fire as fuck.
Hey, dude, yeah, that was legit.
Yeah, that's the comeback people dream for. It was an incredible fight, and like you said, you couldn't write a script better than that. And like I said in the post fight, man, like I felt like coming into this fight, there was like a gut instinct where I knew that some shit was gonna have to get really nasty. Like I had to walk through fire to earn this next step in my career. And it was like this test was about to be really big. There was something about Daniel's energy. Super cool guy, by the way. Him and he showed very genuine respect leading up to the fight. And then, but I knew that I was gonna have to really walk through fire to make it past him. So to do that, and I always feel like going through those firefights and like this, Kevin, like you learn something about yourself. Like you don't know what you're made of in moments like that until you experience them. You feel it at the gym, but you're safe in the gym. But when you're in there and this dude really wants to take your consciousness from you in front of everybody, like you don't know how you're going to react. So for me to experience that and be reminded, like, yeah, man, I am a dog. When shit gets ugly, I fucking rise to the occasion every time. And I feel like, like I earned something. I got some stripes about me now, especially in the big show. I feel like now it was a rough start. O'Day, we had a back and forth, but I feel like I didn't really turn myself on to the third round. Clayton, again, great fight. I think I should have finished him. I made a couple of mistakes that kept me from doing that. Of course, Tatsuro, I feel like that was probably like I was just a shell of myself in there. It was a terrible performance. So this fight, I feel like I showed my heart. I'd like to show more skill and more evasion, of course, but I showed what the fans love. And fucking, I'm here to put on a show just like you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you absolutely put on a motherfucking show. Made no doubt about that.
Boy, that's fucking man. I appreciate it.
Congrats, man. Congrats and good luck. I know we're running out of time here. I see you got shout out San Antonio. You got in the background. I love it. Represent the home team. For all of us that go back there, that we go. We actually had a great time there. What's the best thing or one or two things that anyone coming to San Antonio should go check out while they're there?
So if you're trying to come down and get like some good food, right? Like if you want to do like a cool like date night situation with your girl and like catch a vibe, I would go to the Pearl or Southtown.
Nice. The Pearl.
There's some cool hipster spots in Southtown. The Pearl has some really cool chef inspired restaurants, French restaurants, things like that. You go to a cool winery. If you want to come down and get ratchet and act like a hoe, you can hit up fucking Hills and Dales and Witness.
Grinding on hood rats. Let's go.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going.
For real, dude.
That's where I'm going.
I'm married.
On hood rats and fucking start a fight somewhere for real.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
For real, dude. Yeah, me neither. I need to stay my house.
I love it. That's fucking great. Yes, I love.
So yeah, man.
No, hey man, we appreciate it. Again, congrats. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. And we're gonna put in a word for Orrin. Make sure he gets that in.
Yeah, put in a big word. And what games you play on that PS5 over there?
Oh, you know what I mean? I got a little something back there. I play Rocket League. I play Fortnite. That's really it. I need to get God of War, though. My coach says God of War is hard.
Yeah, I hear it's lit. Well, if you ever get on Call of Duty, man, get my thing, man, so we can draw some bodies together.
I'll buy Call of Duty if you're telling me we're gonna play.
Yeah, we're gonna play, bro. We're gonna have to stream that shit too.
I'm like, hey, my friend Kevin said he wants to play with me.
Yeah.
We best friends.
Mom, meatloaf.
Oh man.
Cool. All right, brother. Hey man, you have a good night. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it, bro.
All right, CJ.
All right, boys. Cheers. Yo, real quick.
What's good?
When do y'all air this?
Shit.
Monday.
And when do you fight again?
April 8th.
Let's fucking go. All right, Dad. Later, Pop.